Let me look at the belly fat after 50 question. Here's the script. If you're over 50 and that stubborn belly just won't budge no matter how clean you eat or how many sit-ups you do, I need you to hear this. It is almost never about willpower. The real reason that weight settled around your middle is happening inside your bloodstream, in a hormonal loop most men have never had explained to them. And by the end of this video, I'll show you the one part of that loop that, if you break it, can finally start tipping the whole thing back in your favor. I'm not a doctor. I'm a men's health educator, and I've spent years studying why men our age feel like our own bodies stopped cooperating somewhere after 45. So let me walk you through exactly what's going on, because once you see it, you can't unsee it, and you'll stop blaming yourself for something that was rigged against you. Here's the short version. After about 50, three things start feeding each other: belly fat, low testosterone, and rising insulin resistance. Most men think of these as three separate problems. They're not. They're one cycle, and each one makes the other two worse. That's why the standard advice, just eat less and move more, so often fails men over 50. You're not fighting one problem. You're fighting a loop that's actively defending itself. Let me break down each piece. Testosterone is the hormone most linked to a man's lean muscle, his drive, his energy, and importantly, how his body decides where to store fat. As testosterone naturally drifts down with age, the body becomes more prone to storing fat, specifically in the abdomen. So far, that's the part most men already know. But here's what most men miss, and this is the part nobody talks about. That belly fat is not just sitting there. Visceral fat, the deep fat around your organs, is metabolically active. It behaves almost like its own gland. And one of the things this deep abdominal fat is linked to is converting testosterone into estrogen through an enzyme process. So the more belly fat you carry, the more it can chip away at the very testosterone you need to lose that belly fat. Read that again. The fat is lowering the hormone that would help you burn the fat. That's loop number one, closing on itself. Now add the third player, insulin. As that midsection grows, the body often becomes less sensitive to insulin, the hormone that manages your blood sugar. When you're insulin resistant, your body has to pump out more and more insulin to do the same job. And insulin is, at its core, a storage hormone. High circulating insulin tells your body, store fat, hold on to fat, don't release it. On top of that, insulin resistance is itself linked to lower testosterone. So now you've got belly fat lowering testosterone, low testosterone encouraging more belly fat driving insulin resistance, and insulin resistance dragging testosterone down even further. That's the vicious cycle. Three forces, all pulling the same direction, all reinforcing each other. And if you only attack one corner of it, the other two just drag you back. This is why the crash diet works for 3 weeks and then quits on you. It's why endless cardio leaves you exhausted and softer than before. You were never lazy, you were outnumbered. So how do you break it? Because you can break it, and the leverage point is more encouraging than you'd think. You don't have to fix all three corners at once. You have to find the one input that pushes back on all three at the same time. And that input is muscle, specifically building and keeping lean muscle through strength training. Here's why strength training is the lever. Muscle is where the vast majority of your blood sugar gets used up. When you build and challenge muscle, your body can become more sensitive to insulin again, meaning it needs less insulin to manage your blood sugar. Lower insulin means less of that constant store fat signal. At the same time, resistance training, lifting, bands, body weight work, pushing real effort, is one of the most studied natural ways to support healthy testosterone in men. And as testosterone support improves and that visceral fat starts coming down, you take pressure off the testosterone to estrogen conversion too. One action, all three corners of the loop pushed in the right direction at once. And if you want faster, longer-lasting results, I've put the exact natural support I recommend in the link below this video. It's the same approach I'd share with a friend my age who wants to give his body the raw materials to do this work, alongside the training and the food. Take a look when we're done here. Now let me be specific about what this looks like, because vague advice helps no one. For strength, you want to be training your major muscle groups 2 to 3 times a week. Legs, back, chest, the big movers, because they're the ones that move the metabolic needle most. You do not need a fancy gym, you need progressive effort, meaning a little harder over time, and enough rest between sessions for your body to actually rebuild. Quality over heroics, consistency over intensity. For diet, the goal is to take the foot off the insulin pedal. That generally means anchoring every meal around protein, because protein supports the muscle you're building and helps you feel full. It means being honest about the refined carbs and the sugary drinks and the late-night snacking that spike insulin hardest. And it means enough quality sleep, because even one bad night of sleep is linked to worse insulin sensitivity and lower testosterone the very next day. Sleep is not a luxury here, it's part of the protocol. Notice what I'm not telling you to do. I'm not telling you to starve. I'm not telling you to live on the treadmill. I'm not telling you to touch any medication you're on. That's a conversation for you and your doctor, always. What I'm telling you is that the men who turn this around are the ones who stop fighting the symptom, the belly, and start dismantling the loop that's producing it. You attack the cause, the effect has nowhere to hide. So let's bring it home. The belly fat you've been at war with after 50 is not a character flaw, and it's not permanent. It's the visible signature of a hormonal cycle, fat feeding low testosterone feeding insulin resistance feeding more fat. And the single most powerful place to break it is by building and protecting your muscle, supported by smarter food and real sleep. Do that consistently, and you stop feeding the loop, and the loop starts to unwind. If today connected some dots for you, do yourself one favor before you go. Click the link in the description and take a look at the natural support I've put together for men walking this exact path. Give your body the tools and the raw materials, and let it do what it's built to do. You are not too old, you are not too far gone, and your body has not turned on you. It's been waiting for you to understand the rules so you can finally play by them. Start with one strength session this week, just one. That's how the loop begins to break. And remember, this is general education, not medical advice. Your body, your history, your decisions, made with a professional who knows you. Take care of yourself, my friend. You've got more vitality left in you than you think.